A second stimulus package could be needed faster than believed because of the massive rise of COVID-19 cases. Hey everybody, this is LALATE with a second stimulus check and stimulus package update, our second of the day. Earlier, we detailed really shocking news that a second stimulus check emergency order could be issued in mid-July. Wow, you got to watch that video coming up later today. Really additional shocking news that $600 per week, that FPUC that runs out in late July could run out earlier than initially thought. And please watch our EIDL scandal, a world exclusive only on LALATE, about 3 individuals who have been paid over $75,000 to help allegedly expedite EIDL loans into approval. Boy. It is a one whopper of a day. But let's get right to this let's get right to the second stimulus check update, which is really quite fascinating. As you know, this channel has detailed that a second stimulus package will be geared upon or pushed based upon 3 major factors. 1, liquidity in the capital markets, which currently is not a concern. 2, unemployment, which is a big concern. And 3, COVID-19 cases. The second issue, the unemployment numbers, was detailed in the earlier second stimulus check video. We explained that next Thursday, the June job reports numbers will be released, and other unemployment numbers will be released, and they're not expected to be good. Additionally, on Tuesday, Jerome Powell and Steve Mnuchin appear in the Congress before a House subcommittee being asked questions about this very subject matter, second stimulus check. There is a big belief that during that discussion, they're going to unveil new proposals. But let's talk about that third factor, and here we go. COVID-19 cases. Massive rise of COVID-19 cases in several hotspots. And those hotspots are places where a lot of the U.S. economy and certain sectors of the U.S. economy were supposed to open in new fashion just within weeks. Let's get right to it. First of all, Vice President Mike Pence today said that there are 16 cases reporting a massive rise of COVID-19 cases in recent days. Anthony Fauci said the same thing, that people are infecting others and ultimately you will affect someone who is vulnerable. So Pence says we are now seeing cases rise incredibly fast in the South. There's one message that comes out today. It's hopefully that younger Americans in these states and these counties in particular, that are a big part of these numbers we are seeing these new cases, pay attention. The White House also said a risk for you is not isolated for you, because if you infect the others, you will infect a lot of dangerous people. So how does this really impact the second stimulus check program? It impacts it because businesses that thought that they are so ready to go are perhaps going to get off the rails. One of them, believe it or not, is the NBA. The NBA and its players union have finalized a plan to resume their 2019 schedule, halted by COVID-19. But guess where they want to play or have planned to play? Orlando. 22 teams at the arena, the Fieldhouse, and the Vista Athletic Center at ESPN Wide World Sports. This was announced minutes ago, that Florida has seen its worst spike in COVID cases since the pandemic started. Friday's new cases are now at 8,942 in the state of Florida. To give you a perspective, the graph of COVID-19 cases in Florida was really just, in the hundreds earlier in this month, and went to 5,500 just a few days ago. Now it is literally going through the roof. It is approaching 10,000. So is the NBA and all these other industries really going to progress? And if they don't, it's even more reason for a second stimulus package. Here you go. Second stimulus packages are needed because one, people are unemployed, two, people are infected by COVID-19, three, people can't work, and four, people can't make their bills. If you contract COVID-19, you can't go to work. You need a second stimulus package. You need a second stimulus check. If a loved one that you live with is infected by COVID-19, you can't go to work. You need to have financial relief. It's that type of urgency that is really upon us that wasn't even there 7 days ago. These numbers are literally going through the roof. So when we have NBA Commissioner Adam Silver in a press release days ago saying we have worked together with a players union to establish a restart plan that prioritizes health and safety and addresses social justice issues, well, does it really address health and safety? And are players going to fly and live in Florida, a hotbed of massive number of COVID-19 cases? Earlier, just today, 16 of the 302 players, I mean, imagine that percentage. 16 of the 302 players that were supposed to compete in Orlando tested positive for COVID-19. Any player who tested positive will remain in self-isolation until they face health protocols. But what about the rest of the players? Do they really want to play in that type of environment? As you know, the day started with big new orders about COVID-19 that Florida, which now has 122,000 COVID-19 cases and 3,000 deaths, shut down all bars effective immediately. Governor Ron DeSantis said that all bars that originally were allowed to reopen in early July are now closed for 2 months. I mean, really, just 2 months, Governor. Effective immediately, the Department of Business and Professional Regulation is suspending all premises consumption of bars statewide, said the representative minutes ago in a statement. That is not the only state that has done it. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said he would pause reopening plans in his state as his numbers are rising as well. It's big concerns. So when we talk about a stimulus package, you know, Mitch McConnell had that famous or infamous expression that says, this will be our last stimulus package and don't come back to us ever again. Well, Mitch, you know, many think you're not coming back to Congress in the fall. But the concern now is that the pandemic is really not in the second wave, it's in its first wave. And that stimulus checks will be needed faster than originally thought. You know, when we talk about stimulus checks and stimulus packages, we talk about a lot of different things. We talk about that $2,000 check every 6 months, every month for 6 months until the pandemic improves or unemployment rates decrease. We talk about the extension of FPUC, that federal program that provides $600 additionally from the federal government on top of UI or PUA benefits every single week, but it's expiring in late July. Watch our third video on second stimulus check because I'm going to explain to you it may be even earlier. We talk about forgiveness of student debts or student debt loan payments and principals while the pandemic's going on. We're talking about hazard pay, $13 an hour on top of your basic essential workers' salary. We talk of a lot of things, and as this channel has been really detailing for you, and I do think it's important for you to remain focused on this, is that stimulus packages don't just come from the Congress. They come from the states, they come from the Federal Reserve, and they come also from the Congress. The states are already starting to do that by extending UI benefits for additional weeks due to emergency orders that they have a right to do so. But there is big concerns, and that was in our first stimulus check video today, that their debts are rising. Their budgets really come due around July 1st. And so a lot of people say, hey, there is no stimulus package passed by emergency order of the White House or the Federal Reserve, which has the authority to issue stimulus packages separate and apart from Congress. If that's not done in mid-July, states themselves could be in very big trouble as budget wise. So let me get to some of your 65-second stimulus check questions from yesterday, and please stay with us later because we are going to have a really shocking EIDL scandal video which you aren't going to see anywhere else. Jimmy Jan, they can't put on a ballot a question to reduce all congressmen's salary to $1,200 a month. I love that. Kevin Lee, there goes the Congress's plane to the Bahamas. I mean, yes, those congressmen are on vacation now. They come back in late July. They work for a few days to get your stimulus package approved. They have to do it by August 8th. And guess what? August 8th, they're back on vacation again. It is just a pure disgrace. Clee Rada. They're holding our money for ransom. Very well said. Tina, we need to get it. Very well said. Curtis, Americans need the money in their pockets before the elections. By this time, more people will lose their homes. This channel has said extensively that multiple checks are needed, retroactive checks are needed, and if any member of Congress or any presidential candidate holds a check over your hand, over your face like a carrot over Bugs Bunny's mouth, boy, you are going to get voted out because no one is going to buy you dangling a check that is very long overdue as a way to get yourself reelected. So if you're members of Congress and you're watching this video, don't try that with the viewers of this channel. It ain't going to work. Mr. Late Night Drinker, thank you for the shout out. I love Mr. Late Night Drinker. That's his screen name. Pedro Gonzalez. Comments about Biden. Curtis, shame on the government's abandoning the people. Very well said. Pretty Diamonds, how can I change bank to direct deposit for a second stimulus money? Yes, if you're new to this channel, thank you for joining. I mean, 1,000 new viewers overnight, which is really incredible. But please get a bank account ready because there's talk that the second stimulus check will come by direct deposit. I know a lot of you, for some of you, for some reasons, don't have bank accounts. You don't have it set up for direct deposits. You're overseas, even though you're a U.S. citizen. You need a bank account in the United States with your name, with your social security number. Have it ready. I don't want to hear that you get checks a different way or a different manner. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of suggestion that the second stimulus check is going to come by direct deposit. So have that account ready. And just please don't wait on it. Dana, there's some dead people getting second stimulus checks. Yes, horrible. Dorcas, we're still waiting for that in Phoenix. The coffee bean, come over to Louisiana where the cost of living is cheaper. I love Louisiana, just adore your state. Annette, bring it on, Louisiana. Fun time, show us the money. Martha, I have gotten my first stimulus check. And Chris, if Biden wins, it's going to be a big reverse of the tax cuts. So this is going to happen regardless of the stimulus checks. Interesting point. BJ, I want to make a statement for everyone seems to agree. The $1,200 stimulus of the last package was no more than a credits payment because that's all you could buy. Very well said. $1,200 is a big waste of time. Give more money. Do you have to have an EIN to get an EIDL loan? No, I'll do that in the video for EIDL. Panda Bear, happy anniversary. Thank you. Another example of government trying to steal or waste our money. Jeff, very well said. Big D, thanks again for the shout out for you about your president 2024. You'll have my vote. I'm not running. I'm not running for president. Maybe I'll, I don't know what I'll do, but that is not on the list of items yet. Dana, if you like your stimulus, you can keep your stimulus. Okay, I don't know what that means. Mike Morrison, vote everyone out of Senate except the people who are giving the stimulus checks. I love that. James, welcome back, LALATE. I didn't leave anywhere. I don't care what they say. I can't remember where he lives. By Moscow Mitch, says another viewer. So if you have questions in today's video, drop in the comments below. Coming up, our third stimulus check video, which talks about a real shocker. I did not see it coming. I should have seen it, and I missed it. That FPUC, that $600 from the federal government, may run out or may not get paid sooner than you originally thought. Boy. And later, that EIDL scandal that I've been talking about all day long. As always, stay with LA for more.